Welcome to Chair Yoga. Hips and low back today. Two of our favorite spots in the body to work with. And also a little bit of shoulders, neck and shoulders, also the other end of the spine. So we'll hit the spine. Let's have a strap and some blocks handy. And I want you to fidget on your chair for a moment. Simply see if you can find the ideal place to sit. And I'm going to suggest you do not use the back of the chair as a prop. You're sitting towards the front of the chair. With a very slight tilt forward in the pelvis, not too much. You can even Rolodex the hips forward and backwards a few times, feel the low back out. Sometimes the low back is very tight, so we tend to overarch. And then finding that kind of neutral place, and then just a very, very slight millimeters, just millimeters, to get the forward tilt in the pelvis. Relax the hands, palms face up, on the thighs or lap. So there's a relaxation in the shoulders. And feeling a very subtle lengthening through the spine. So you're lengthening through the spine, almost like a tree is lengthening. It's not efforting, it's not hunching the shoulders, it's simply almost imagining space between the vertebrae, so you're sitting nice and tall. And let your face become soft. With the hint of a smile, just the hint. The Mona Lisa smile. Eyelids can remain open and hazy or closed. Whatever works for you. And I want you to try and breathe silently through the nose, in and out. I want you to really listen for your breath. And if you can hear the breath, breathe a little more gently, a little more slowly, until the sound of the breath disappears altogether. So the key here is slowly and gently. So the breath is probably a little deeper than normal, without strain. Some people call this the Buteyko breath. And what's wonderful about this breath is it activates diaphragmatic breathing, breathing using the diaphragmatic muscles. And the lower lungs become involved in this kind of breathing. And the lower lungs are very, very rich with oxygen holding membrane. So there becomes an efficiency with your breathing. So you're breathing less and getting more. And throughout today's practice, I want you to remember the Buteyko breath, the gentle, slow, breath, the silent breath, the deep breath. And I will prod you with some reminders as we do that. Slowly slide the hands down, grab the knees, and start a circular journey with the torso. And I want you to circle the torso in such a way that you feel the low back get some traction. So let the circles grow gradually. Every time you lean forward, one of your legs will activate. That's good. We want strong legs. That's it. Nice, slow, wide circles, almost like you're breathing. Bring back that Buteyko breath. And see if you can move at the rhythm of that silent breath. At some point, change direction and circle the other way. Two more breaths, two more circles. And then come to completion. Pause and notice. And then heel toe the feet a little wider so the toes are pointing outwards, and then leaning on your elbows. Let your head droop down. Feel the weight of the head pulling at the neck. Gently lift the eyes up, look up, lift the chin up. And do two more of those head nods. One. Two. And then bring the head to neutral so your nose is pointing towards the front of the mat. And simply turn the head to the left. Inhale the head to neutral. Exhale the head to the right. And two more of the head nods, left and right. One. Two. And then coming back to neutral. And imagine the tip of the nose is a pencil. And you're going to start to draw on an imaginary canvas in front of you a spiral with the tip of your nose. And let the spiral get larger and larger until you're feeling almost a complete circle in the neck, in the head, in the tip of the nose. Good. Slow, gentle breath. And then the other way. Now pause, and if you have a block handy, I want you to bring the block onto its tallest setting in between your feet. Resting your hands on the block, let the weight come forward so the weight of your torso is pressing down through the arms into your block. And very slowly bend the elbows until you feel a delicious traction in the back. You might even have to widen the feet so your torso nestles between the thighs. And I want you to go down slowly like you're lowering a car on a ramp. You can even bring the hands to the mat if you feel you can go deeper. And at some point, can you dangle the head? So instead of the weight of the head pushing and compressing the spine, the weight of the head is tractioning out the cervical spine, and you're using it as a way to get traction. For those who are comfortable in this position, you can fold your arms and let the weight of the dangling folded arms pull you even deeper. And if it's too much, I want you to come back elbows on thighs. Three more breaths here. 2. Now on the third breath, you can bring your hands back to the block and press down to straight arms. So you're leveraging the weight of the torso and the head back up with the arms. Elbows on thighs. And we'll move the head in 4 directions, left, right, up, down. And then walk the hands along the thighs until they come back and you're upright once again. All right, let's just do a little bit of shaking here. You got your hands in front, shake, shake, shake. Now, even though you've got a brand new vigorous sensation going on, can you focus on your silent breath? Keep the breath silent as you lift the hands above the head. And out to the side. And we'll do a few eagle wing flaps here, up and down. Maybe the hands touch above the head, maybe they don't. As the hands come up, palms face the sky, so you rotate the wrist. And as the hands come down, they rotate towards the earth. And the next time the arms come up above the head, interlace the fingers point up, cross the thumbs. And imagine someone pulling you up so you feel the spine elongate. And we're simply going to lean to the left carefully, not to fall off the chair. Lean left, feeling that lateral extension on the right side. And the strong muscles on the left side that are holding the core, the stability of the spine. Inhale, come through neutral, and then half moon to the other side. Good. . Exhale, release, float down, and then we'll do 3 torso circles. So we're coming back, low back, hips area. 3 circles in each direction, remembering the silent breath, the gentle breath. And when you've completed that, find your way towards the front of the chair again. You can hold the chair if you like for stability, and you're simply going to lift the left knee up, out and back in a circle without touching the floor. So you're circling the hip. And you might start to feel a bit of heat in the hip flexor area, right up there in the top of the groin as you do that. So this muscle can be tight and weak, so we want to strengthen it. We get some strength back in that very important part of the body. Let's rotate the other way again if you can without landing. But of course, if you need to land to rest, you can. If you want a little more work, you can hold the arms above the head, and this is just going to be a little more demanding. I'm starting to feel the heat. Oh, there it comes. And then extend that leg out. Extend that leg out. Heel to the mat. Slide forward into a forward fold. Oh, traction out the back of the hamstring and the low back. Walk your hands back up the leg, lifting the torso, bending the knee, lifting the right knee this time, and starting your circular motions on the other hip, or the other side of the hip. It's funny, they call it the hips, plural. You can add arms if you like. Reverse direction. Silent breath. Three, 2, 1 more. Then extend the right leg out and come forward. Oh, nice forward fold. Lengthening that hamstring, getting into the low back. And then slowly coming up. Let's take the left hip, open it to the left, approximately 90 degrees. Bring it back to the center and change sides, moving into the right hip. So just feeling that abduction and adduction of the hips. And I know some of you worked this with me so many times. You can add resistance by pushing your hand against the direction of the opening or closing. This is a really nice exercise. It engages so much of the body. Obviously the adductors and abductors of the leg, which is nice, but also the arm and the core of the body get engaged as well. So it's a nice firming workout. And the next time you open to the left, pause. I'm going to heel toe that right leg, the back leg out. Now as you heel toe it out, try to keep the pinky toe side of the foot on the ground. So that's going to add to the stretch on the inner thigh. It's also going to help stretch on the outer ankle. And if for some reason that flexibility isn't there in the ankle, if you've got an injury or tightness, just put a little cloth or something down, a little blanket, so you can push the outer edge of the foot into the blanket. Now adjust the front foot so you see a nice 90-degree angle with that knee. And that front foot stays grounded as well. If the chair you're on is a little tall, you might find the heel lifts up. If that's the case, take a block and put that foot onto a block. Clasp both hands behind the head. Turn and face the front knee so you're twisting to the left. And then you twist to the right. Look backwards. Keep pressing the back of the head into the hands, so you're strengthening the back of the neck. Twist left again. Twist right again. One more twist in each direction, and then release the hands into Warrior Two. Drop the back hand, lift the front hand. Come through Warrior Two. And then leaning forward into that front thigh, elbow on thigh, right hand comes over. And we're simply going to dance in your own time between those three warrior shapes. Silent breath, slow breath, gentle breath. Imagine your arms are floating on the breath. So you bring a real gentleness into the movement, the hinging back and forth. And the next time you come to Warrior Two, pause and grab your chair. Now we've had the hips in a very big opening for a while, so you want to walk the hips back to neutral carefully and gently and slowly. Whew. And we might as well throw in a few torso twirls, just to bring some circulation back into that deep stretch, especially in that left groin. And once you've done your twirls in both directions, you can open the right hip 90 degrees. And this time you'll be heel toeing the left leg back. I often get, it's funny, I often get a little cramp right here when I do that one. So I'm just leaning forward, massaging it out. Getting ready for my twists. Hands behind head. And looking back. Keep pressing the back of the head into the hands so you don't drop the chin. And then looking forward. Just repeat that slowly with gentle, slow breath. Good. And when you're ready, you can release the hands into Warrior Two. And in Warrior Two, dancing warrior, reverse warrior, and then side angle warrior. Just dance at your own pace. That's it, lovely. Nice, graceful movements. Silent breath. Getting all the kinks out. And the next time you come through neutral pause, grab your chair and take your time as you return to neutral seat. A couple more hip circles in each direction just to bring, the hips should be really feeling it after all that. All right. Now, if it's possible, what I'd like you to do is to come off your chair and bring the, I'm going to bring the chair to the back of my mat, but you can keep it where it is. I'm not so sure how this is going to work, but I've done it myself before, but I want you to grab a block and bring the block beside you. Why don't we all start on the right side of the chair? And make sure your chair is something you can grab. You can also do this against a wall if you have a wall handy. So either a wall or a chair. And I want you to step your right foot onto the block. Make sure it's secure. And then stand the full weight onto the block so that the left leg is dangling and you can simply sway it forward and backward. Good. So we're reminding this left leg that it can relax and loosen, and the weight of the leg helps unclog its position into the pelvis. We're freeing up the femur into the pelvis with this gentle sway. And the standing leg's getting used to the idea and strengthening as it takes the weight. You can rest at any time. The standing leg might be starting to get a bit of heat. And then pause, and then simply lift that left knee up and down a few times. You can also come off the block for that. And then slowly bring it back to earth, step off the block for a moment. Pause and just notice, particularly even though we've been working on the left leg, the right leg took the weight all that time. Now you can either turn your back on me or you can switch sides of the chair. We're going to change the feet. So you'll be standing on the left foot, right leg. You can start swinging once you've got that balance. So once again, just freeing up the hip and the leg. And of course, while we're doing this, we're also working the proprioception of the body, even though we've got the hand for support. This is a balanced pose, so we're only on one leg. You see some of you experiencing balance by simply letting go. That's okay. Three, two, and one, and then knee lifts just to break up that swinging motion. 3, 2, and 1. And then pause, coming off your block. Simply notice how the hips and legs feel after the swings. And I'll get you to bring your chair up to the top of the mat and reverse its direction. And you can keep your chair in that reverse direction. I'm going to turn mine sideways so you've got a good view of what I'm up to. And bringing both hands onto the chair seat, walk your legs back until you feel a nice L stretch where you can keep the legs straight and push the hips back. And there's some weight in the hands, most of the weight in the feet. And you get this chair dog, downward dog variation. And now step just the right foot forward under the chair, but keep both legs straight. So your legs have formed a triangle. And have the feet staggered, so both feet are flush on the floor and roughly pointing in the same direction, parallel. If you push the hips back a little bit, you start to feel the right hamstring stretch out. Keep the weight in the right hand only and bring the left hand to your hip. And bring your left shoulder up so you get a nice twist here in pyramid pose. Now, if it's available to you, lift the left hand to the sky as if you're trying to put your fingertips on the ceiling. Good. Now slowly bring that left hand back to your chair. Keep the legs where they are. Push the hips back again. Feel that stretch in the right hamstring. And this time bring the right hand to the hip. So the left hand stays on the chair. And try to turn the hips as much as you can towards the right side. So you feel the right shoulder try to stack on the left shoulder. You can even look to the right. So we come into revolved pyramid. And then if you like, you can lift that right hand to the sky. Float the right hand down, step the right foot back and come back to your L stretch. Step the left foot forward this time. Once again, both legs are straight. And if you push back with the hips, you'll feel the left hamstring really stretch out here. And the low back should be feeling comfortable. Keep the weight in the left hand, right hand hip. Bring the right shoulder back. If and when it's appropriate, lift the right hand to the sky. Float the right hand down. Pushing back through the hips, feel that left hamstring continue to stretch out. Weight into the right hand, left hand hip. And as you revolve the hip more and more to the left and stack that left shoulder more and more on top of the right shoulder, you'll feel the right leg stretch this time. You'll feel the calf muscle really stretch out in that revolved pyramid. If and when appropriate, left hand to heaven. And then slowly bring that hand back. Step both feet back again, L stretch. Oh. And then you can resume your chair into its original position and bring 2 blocks with you. And place the blocks under the feet. And this time I want you to sit back a little bit in the chair so you can use the backrest. If you're particularly tall, you won't need the blocks. You can try it without the blocks and just see, but it adds a little bit of, I don't know, tension, makes the low back. You want to feel relaxed here. As you sit here, I want you to remember that silent breathing. So it's very gentle. It's almost got the gentleness of where you can pick up the fragrance of a very subtle aroma, and you're just trying to identify it. It might be a rose, it might be the smell of the ocean in the background. Crushed pine needle. And it's that inhale that is so gentle, slow, but quite deep without any strain. And then take your right hand and place the tip of the thumb gently under the right nostril. So you're breathing in and out of one nostril. And you might have to draw with a little more power to suck in the air because you've reduced the flow of air now. But try to keep it slow, gentle, and deep. Silence. The next time you exhale, gently release the right hand to the lap. Notice what it's like to breathe in through both nostrils. And then we'll do the same with the left hand and the left nostril. And see if you can apply as gentle a pressure as possible with the thumb against the nostril. And at the same time occluding that left nostril. So there's this sensitivity that's developed between the nerves in the thumb and the nerves at the tip of the nostril. Three more breaths and then let this nostril go. And notice what it's like to breathe in through two nostrils again. Now interlace the fingers, and have both thumbs available, so your thumbs are available, and bring the interlaced fingers towards the nose so that the right thumb covers the right nostril. You breathe in through the left nostril, and then switch thumbs so that the left nostril is covered by the left thumb. You exhale through the right nostril. Inhale through the right nostril. Switch thumbs and exhale through the left nostril. When you get used to this rhythm, inhale one side, switch, exhale the other. Start to reduce the pressure of the thumb against the nose, still maintaining alternate nostril breathing. And now come into silent breathing, very, very gentle. Very slow and surprisingly deep. And the next time you exhale through the left nostril, relax the arms, the hands back into the lap. Bring that slight Mona Lisa smile back to the face, soft face. And thank you for joining me. Namaste. Yay.